Hi everyone, I'm Pam, the Lucky Mermaid, and I'm bringing you my psychic crystal reading for the full moon in Libra, April 7th, 2020, for each of the four elements: earth, water, fire, and air. The earth signs are Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. The water signs are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and the air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Now, this full moon in Libra could bring about risks and health-related imbalances. You may also see people acting more aggressively and not wanting to conform, and the solution is cooperation and intelligent thinking to bring about positivity and happiness during this challenging full moon in Libra. Now, these psychic predictions I'm giving you are from my spirit guides that I get when I look into my crystal for each of the four elements, and these predictions last usually for 2 weeks or up to 30 days. So I'm going to start with the element of earth. This will be Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. I feel that you are going to feel a little aggressive, irritated, frustrated, aggressive, a little anxiety-ridden, especially directing it outwardly towards others. So you might want to temper that down and be a little cautious of that, earth signs. And I feel like many of you earth signs are going to be really driven by like wanting to have answers, wanting to find solutions during this time. Some of you may even be having the energy of like looking out behind your back. Like, is somebody scrutinizing you? Is somebody stalking you? Is somebody, I don't know, it's a weird kind of energy. Or looking over your shoulder, maybe worried that you don't catch some kind of sickness. I don't know, but I get this turning around, looking over your shoulder energy for some of you earth signs. Some of you earth signs are going to be very immersed in figuring out things that involve dealing with money, facts, and figures and numbers. You could be doing your taxes. You could be figuring out bank accounts. You could be, I don't know, but I see you with numbers, facts, figures, ledgers, all that kind of stuff. You're going to have a distinct, nothing is going to be gray. It's going to be a distinct right from wrong, yes or no, positive or negative. So some of you earth signs, it's going to be really cut and dry, no gray area here for you during the next 2 weeks to 30 days. Some of you may find out something that crashed and burned that you might have to like rebuild again. So it could be like if your computer lost data or information, or a website crashed, or I don't know, something to do with a business. I don't know what it's going to be, but if you feel like, if you find out that something kind of got ruined, crashed, burned, you're going to be working on rebuilding it again. Or maybe something literally happened to a structure at your home. A shed fell down, shelves fell down. I don't know, but like crashed and burned, restructuring and rebuilding comes up. Some of you, this Libra full moon, some of you earth signs, this Libra full moon is going to make your intuition be at an all-time high for the next 2 weeks or up to 30 days. The thing you need to be cautious of, some of you earth signs need to not have so much doubt. It could be self-doubt, it could be doubt in the world, but having too many doubts is something you need to be cautious of. So positive thinking here is going to help you out, because you don't want to be too doubtful about everything, or you're just going to have anxiety and everything's going to be too overwhelming for you. Loose lips sink ships. Don't be too freewheeling with telling everybody with what's going on with you. Even though this is a time where we need to stay connected and we need to reach out to those we love and we need to have good, strong communications now, you may have a tendency to say too much. So be cautious of saying too much over the next 2 weeks to 30 days. Be careful too of signing any contracts or putting too many things in writing, because you may have a regret and wish that you hadn't. In like a month or two, you may feel like, wow, I shouldn't have signed that agreement or made that contract. So maybe there's not going to be a lot of those things going on right now, but you never know. So, or it could be other things you're putting in writing. Doesn't have to be a contract. There could be other things you're putting in writing, like emails, text messages. Be careful what you're putting in writing, because you may regret what you write at this time at a later date. So I hope those messages were of help to you. Now I'm going to look into the element of water. This is Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. I feel that some of you water signs are going to feel a little bit frustrated, like you want to get out. You either want to go outside or you want to get out of the situation as it is, or like, you know, like getting out. It could be getting out of a relationship or a job, but for many of you, I feel like it's you want to get outside. You want to just not be in quarantine. You just want to get out. Some of you water signs may be a little anxious about, what do people think of me? Could be people you've met recently, could be people at your job, could be your family, could be some friends, or, you know, whoever. I'm not sure who it's going to be, but I do get Libras feeling like, oh, what do they think of me? So these could be people you already know. They could be people you've met recently. Be careful that you don't get like agitated and you start doing things in a hurry and then you screw things up. Like if you're like, oh, I'm going to bake this bread and I'm going to bake these muffins or make these cookies, or I'm going to make this dinner, or I'm going to build this project, or I'm going to redo all my finances or my website, and you're like, I have to be busy, and you might be doing things in a hurry and you could screw it up. So there's no rush. Take your time, because you don't want to be more frustrated if that happens. Some of you water signs may be appearing to others like you have things all cool and collected and you're all fine, but inside you might be really riled up or worried. Some of you have the blessing of a new challenge that's going to come on, and you're going to be happy that you get this challenge, because it's going to be something that you're going to want to dive into and tackle. So it could be your job may say, hey, we need you to do this, and this project, and it may seem challenging what they're asking you to do, but you may be like grateful that you have this challenge. Or it could be something in your home that you need to do or fix. Some of you are going to find that you have the blessing of peace between people you had been at odds with or had been fighting with. So it could be because of the things going on in the world right now is influencing you, as well as the Libra full moon and the other planetary aspects that are going on at this time could be bringing that about. Some of you water signs need to make yourself like be visible and be present. So, you know, maybe you're under quarantine, but maybe your job requires you to go and you are going out. Well, then you need to attend. You need to be there. Or if there's business meetings on Zoom, things on the computer or Skype or whatever, and you need to be there, to make sure you're there. Don't blow it off or oversleep, or like, there's something about you being present and attending things, even if you're like, well, I'm not attending anything, but there's something that you need to attend and be present about in the next 2 weeks to 30 days. Keep in mind, could go up to 30 days. This doesn't mean everything I'm saying is going to happen to you right now around the full moon on the 7th of April. Try not to get too riled up about what other people are saying to you. You may have a short fuse right now. So the word of caution in general for all the water signs is try not to have too short of a fuse. So I hope these messages were of help to you. Now on to the element of fire. This is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Some of you fire signs are really going to feel like you want to see something come to culmination or to fruition. Even though you're stuck maybe in quarantine or whatever, but it could be a business deal or a love relationship, or maybe you haven't been well, maybe you have something that has been making you not feel good and you want it to come to a culmination and a conclusion. You know, as weird as it's going to sound, I feel that some of you fire signs need a break from humanity and need, or like a break from work, or a break from the worry, or a break from something, and actually could benefit from some time by yourself, or not doing whatever. If it's not by yourself, a break from whatever it is you've been doing. I feel that some of you fire signs are going to be frustrated because there's going to be some people that you're going to want to talk to directly, and you're not going to be able to do that. I mean, yes, maybe you could do it on FaceTime or Skype or Zoom or whatever, you could do it. But I feel that some of you fire signs are really like, you want to have some kind of conversations with some people, and you want it to be in person, face to face, not through technology. I feel that some of you fire signs are really doing everything you can right now over the next 2 weeks to 30 days to promote yourself and also to help yourself. So it could be taking a lot of vitamins and immune boosting things and getting out in the sun and getting vitamin D. But it could also be promoting yourself, promoting your business, promoting your services or your products. Even though you may be in quarantine, you may be able to still do that promotion and do some of your work. Something that you thought was dead, gone, buried, tired, worn out, it resurrects, it comes to bloom. So it has some kind of growth. So maybe it's plants in your garden. You thought, oh, these aren't ever coming back up again. And all of a sudden they are. Things that you didn't think were going to make it came back. It could be relationships. It could be job situations. But something you thought that was done and over with or dead, like I said, it could be plants or other things. They come to bloom. So that's going to be a blessing for you from this Libra full moon. Some of you are going to be talking to an old flame, an old friend, a love. Some of you, it could be an old friend, an old family member that you hadn't talked to in a really long time. For some of you, it could be an old flame. Now, that doesn't mean that you're getting back together with them. Maybe you're just talking to them again like a friend. But some of you, maybe because of what's going on, you're spending more time on social media, or you meet up with them again on a dating site, or they email you or contact you. But there's some communication with somebody, and it comes up first like an old love, like an old flame, an old love relationship. So you have to see how that plays out. Some of you, believe it or not, some of you fire signs will be taking on more work and more responsibility. But this is a blessing. This is not a warning. That was like a blessing for you. So you're going to have more work and more responsibility, even though you may say, how is that possible? I don't know, but it's coming up for the next 2 weeks to 30 days for your sign, for your element, your fire sign. The warning and the caution for the fire signs is don't spend too much time overthinking things and overanalyzing things. You're in danger of doing that during this time frame, and it's a caution. This was a caution for you. So sometimes you would think that would be a good thing to do, but based on the things that are going on right now, remember, it's transitory. No matter how long this lasts, it's not staying forever. So I guess this is why they're cautioning you against overthinking. So I hope those messages were of help to you. Now on to the element of air. This would be Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Some of you air signs are really going to feel like a rejuvenation of hope. And feeling rejuvenated, like having more energy, feeling more positivity, feeling like there's more hope. Some of you are going to be getting back in touch with some old friends who you haven't talked to, or it could be relatives too, that you haven't talked to in a while. Getting back in touch with people. Could be people you haven't talked to or seen because of the quarantine, but for some of you, this could be people you just haven't talked to or seen for a long time. Some of you are going to be really keyed into, I've got to put things in order. So you might be like, I got to straighten out my closet. I got to straighten out my file cabinet. I got to straighten out my finances. I got to get my, like important papers and documents and things in order. Some of you air signs are going to be getting beautification treatments that you're able to do. Now, I don't know where you live, where I live. The only things that are open here are drugstores, pharmacies, doctor's offices, gas stations, and banks. I don't think anything else is open. Takeout in some restaurants, but really hardly any. Most of them are closed. So where would you be going to get beautification, like massages, facials, nails done, this, that, the other? I don't know. Maybe you know people personally, like you can go to their house and they can do it. I don't know. Or you're doing it at home yourself. But I do feel some of you are having that activity. Some of you air signs are having that activity go on from the energy of this Libra full moon for the next 2 weeks or up to 30 days. Some of you are going to have a conversation that gives you a lot of insight or inspiration. It could be a special conversation that's going to inspire you, like make you feel like, wow, I feel so much better about what's going on, or now I know what I'm doing, or could be somebody to give you some kind of like direction, could be a spiritual advisor, could be a psychic, an astrologer, a spiritual advisor, a counselor, could even be somebody that wants to do business with you in some regard. Some of you get the blessing of that this whole thing has caused you to hold out for something better. Maybe you were going to buy a new home or buy a new car or, I don't know, get a new job. But because of the effects of this energy of this Libra full moon, but happening now during this quarantine period, it's causing you to hold out for something better. So it's actually a blessing you might not be able to see at this moment. It may take 2 weeks for you to see it. It may take 30 days for you to see it. Some of you are having the blessing of a new perspective, of a whole new way you're going to handle X. What's the X? Money? Love relationships? How you treat and handle people? Or what you do, how you want to run your daily day? But whole new perspective on how you're going to do, and you fill in that blank or that X. That comes up for you, air signs. The caution here for the air signs is be really careful not to read too much into what other people are saying or doing. You may have the tendency to jump to conclusions right now, and you may think you're reading between the lines where in actuality you may be reading into things. So be cautious of that, air signs. So I hope this reading was of help to you, and I hope it made sense. As always, thank you so much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. And please like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to. And if you do subscribe, hit that notification bell, and that way you'll get notified when I upload my videos here to YouTube. Now, I always talk about the videos that I have, that I record from my Vimeo on-demand pages, that are additional psychic predictions and messages that my spirit guides give me for each sign of the zodiac for specific topics or astrological things happening. And some of the ones I want to recommend to you here I think are very pertinent with what is going on out in the world at this time. If you have not gotten it, some of you may have already gotten these videos, but I highly recommend going back and listening to them. If you've already bought these Vimeo videos, I would listen to them again. But if you would like to get them, the links are below, and they're also available on my website, www.theluckymermaid.com. Go to the videos tab on my menu, and there you will click on that, and you'll see all the video series I have listed, how long the predictions are for, what divination tools I used, and you click on the sign you want and it will take you to that video on Vimeo. So the ones I'm recommending, if you haven't gotten them yet, are Jupiter in Capricorn. That's happening now. Jupiter in Capricorn, Psychic Tarot, Oracle card, and crystal reading. That started on December 2019 through December of 2020. So those predictions are going to go all the way up to December of this year. The other two videos I recommend have to do with the eclipses that have passed. The full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer on January 10th, 2020, Psychic Tarot and crystal reading. We are being affected. Yes, we're being affected by other things going on right now too. The Libra full moon, many other planetary things are happening that are affecting us, but that full moon lunar eclipse, those effects are happening to us now. And we have some eclipses that are getting ready to come up in June that you're going to start being affected by in May, next month. So you're being affected by this full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer. So Psychic Tarot and crystal reading, that link is below. You might want to check those out. And you should always watch your rising sign, because your rising sign is going to deal more with fate, destiny, meant to be, things that you have less free will to control. Your sun sign is the purpose you came here to do and achieve in this lifetime, along with the north node of the moon, but you have more free will with your sun sign than you do with your rising sign. The other recommendation I have is for the solar eclipse in Capricorn, which took place on December 26, 2019, Psychic Tarot and crystal readings. You're still under the effects of that eclipse. If you did not get, and that's a solar eclipse, so if you did not get the full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer videos or the solar eclipse in Capricorn videos, you might really want to check them out. And the most recent video series I recorded, which is the psychic crystal readings for April, that link is below, and what's lucky and new for you in 2020. Psychic tarot readings plus an oracle card for each sign of the zodiac. Those were very interesting and you might want to check them out. Now, if you would like to get more psychic messages and predictions from my spirit guides that you're not going to see here on YouTube, you can follow me on my social media pages at The Lucky Mermaid LLC on Facebook, The Psychic Pastry Chef LLC also on Facebook, and The Lucky Mermaid _ Pam Georgel on Instagram. I pull tarot cards, oracle cards, sacred geometry cards, angel cards, all kinds of tarot cards. I also look into my crystal, and you never know what my guides are going to say there. And those predictions are not just for the day I post them. Sometimes they're for months out. And many people find they resonate with them, and I do way different predictions than what you're getting here. It's different. And they resonate with a lot of people, so you might want to check them out. If you would like to donate to this channel and help support this channel, there's a link I have below that is connected to PayPal. And I want to say thank you so much to all of the people that have been very kind and generous and have been generous and donated to my channel. I don't take it lightly, so thank you so much for your donations. So I hope you all have the best possible energy and positivity and happiness that can come to you from this might be challenging Libra full moon. And know that I wish you many blessings and peace.